Hey guys, my name is Michelle Colgan, and I'm going to talk about sexual discrimination in the healthcare industry today. So, women make up about 1/3 of the physicians in the United States. Most commonly, these women are in family medicine, obstetrics, gynecology, and pediatrics. But what about medical school deans and chief executives? So, according to the data from the Association of American Medical Colleges, just 15% of department chairs were women, and 16% were medical school deans. And by 2012, just 18% of women were hospital CEOs. So, what does this mean? It means that when it comes to positions of authority in healthcare, women are not present to enact policy changes, which leaves these men in charge of these changes. See, pharmacology is one area of healthcare in which women are thriving, but they still face issues with policy changes and norms rooted in sexism. For women, pharmacology allows for flexibility and yielding relatively high earnings. However, very few women own their own pharmacies, and this can restrict their opportunities and authority. Studies show that even if women have all the right qualifications, they may still not feel comfortable diving into business ownership. According to Eden Solzer, who is a director of Women in Pharmacology at Cardinal Health, part of the problem lies in the handoff of independent pharmacies. She quotes, "Women are essentially taking themselves out of business ownership because of fear. Fear of risk, fear of not being able to have a personal life and a family life, so they're going into other fields." There are also other areas of healthcare where women are underrepresented. Take surgeons, for example. Research shows that women and minorities in general surgical training programs are less likely to attend their board certifications than their male counterparts. The reason why is not fully understood, but surgery can be an unwelcoming environment for women. Dr. Yvette Canaba, a surgeon and physician at St. John's Hospital in New York, is familiar with this dilemma. She quotes, "It's always had that belief that females are unable to withstand the pressures that one experiences in the operating room. You have a patient's life at stake, and depending on the surgery, there's a belief that women are the weaker sex and that we are unable to withstand the emotional and physical stressors that accompany that kind of setting." So let's change gears and talk about sexism when it comes to treating patients. I read an article called "Women Are Dying Because Doctors Treat Us Like Men." And it talks about a young girl who has these fainting spells 2 to 3 times a week when she was a teenager. Her parents took her to several doctors whom they kind of rolled their eyes and didn't believe what she was experiencing was real and that she was kind of doing it for attention. So it wasn't until she was 23 years old when doctors finally diagnosed her. She had fainted at work, she was a bank teller, and then she woke up 3 days later in the hospital with a cardioverter defibrillator implanted into her chest. She was diagnosed with long QT syndrome. And this is a very rare heart condition which causes chaotic heartbeats, triggering fainting spells and even sudden death. So in that decade, this young girl, she spent waiting to be diagnosed and be properly diagnosed. Her heart sustained damage that can never be undone. She has had a dozen heart surgeries since, and then she went into heart failure in 2013. And she will most likely need a heart transplant one day. So studies show that female patients' syndromes are less likely to be taken seriously by doctors, and women are more likely to be misdiagnosed, have their symptoms go undiagnosed, unrecognized, or be told that they are experiencing something psychosomatic, so something not real. Or maybe they just think it's all in their head. So women of color are also at a greater disadvantage. Black women are twice as likely to have strokes and much less likely to survive them than white women. So how does this impact women today? Women are taken less seriously than men in the healthcare field in general. Women are often misdiagnosed and treated less often than men, which can lead to higher death rates for women. And doctors need to understand that men and women are different patients. You know, we have different syndromes, our bodies are different, we have different organs, and so therefore we should be treated differently and not compared to men. And that's the direction that we need to go in so that we can be diagnosed properly and live long, healthy lives. So thank you so much, and hope you guys have a good day.